no less, and we shall just see how exactly this actually works. So, the map is going to be high view, and in the north, in the blue, it is going to be Mr. Beastyqt playing the Mongols. I just kind of turned them up to an unbelievable edge. Okay.
And in the south, we have VortiX also playing as the Mongols. We already see those TCs next to the wood line, so
Next
really
to
hard
gold,
to raid.
because that's also great that you can move your TC so you don't have to build a lumber camp or mining camp or a mill sometimes. Yeah. You know, the drill, right? Mongols doing Mongol things. Of course, they're doing them to other Mongols, so it's okay. It's fine.
Absolutely, it's fine. Also, the TC location from Beastyqt is slightly worse, but he does protect the berries. So, also his gold is very much forward. If you look at it.
What do you think they banned? Sorry. What do you think they banned if there are double Mongols?
I think Rus and
what has been banned?
What's the other high win rate civ except for Mongols played?
English, Rus, other stuff. I'm not really sure actually, but
yeah, I think they both banned Rus or it was Rus English ban. Yeah.
Yeah, possible. I mean, still weird.
And they both look at it and like, oh no, Mongols are available. So they both went instantly Mongols, and it's a clown fiesta.
We don't know what it's gonna be because it's actually Mongols are very nice because they offer a plethora of playstyles because anything they do is overpowered. So they have a lot of possibilities. You see the stable opener here, actually double stable opener. So this seems to be the stable right now. People just go for the kind of stable scouts, professional scouts. I guess is gonna be the play for both players.
And yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, that looks like that honestly. So. It's gonna be a weird situation. I'm not sure there's any aggression possible because Mongols just have every resource up under their ass. Oh, the problem here actually is
for Beastyqt is that I mentioned early is his gold is very exposed. There's like no safe gold for him.
How far is it from his spawn? How far can a gold deposit be from one spawn? I would ask for a remake, honestly. That's a kind of please remake this shitty game because his opponent's gold spawned like right here, man. I was kind of spaced out focusing on the builds, but that's preposterous. I mean, you have to just send all the villagers there right now and protect it.
I mean, he did spawn. Basically, he did spawn right when where the tree was, right? So, next to the green tree. No. Could you zoom out maybe a bit or go to the right? Right. When he spawned where that green tree was in the middle of the field, right? Basically. Yeah. That was his spawn location.
He could have moved here. That would have been better, right?
Yeah, but he didn't. The thing is, when you spawn in, you see one wood line. You always see one wood line, your gold, berries, and your stone. So he saw this wood line. He saw berries. He saw gold, but he didn't know whether there was a wood line next to that gold. So it's gonna really scare game.
I'd really like to see him just get this with more villagers than he's using right now. Just take all villages, just mine this gold, just say okay, I'm done here, and leave and take this gear with him. Because I'm not really sure he can defend this position well. I'm really not certain about this. There's a scout battle going on that's kind of micro intensive because you can reset the auto attacks, of course. There's actually horsemen coming out to defend this, which is obviously an unfortunate investment because you would have preferred not to, just waste all the money on this. And there's an outpost. I do believe that VortiX realizes that this is going to be under attack very soon if he doesn't secure it somehow. So there is going to be an outpost. The villagers are going to be allowed to mine for Beasty. Well, of course, his opponent already going up to feudal, so it's going to be a very different situation. I do not think that there is much of a choice in terms of the landmarks anymore. People used to go for this cheesy trade route, golden tree, but this silver tree, right? So, but this is kind of the thing of the past, really, consistently kind of denied right now by everybody who has, basically eyes and a keyboard, right? It can very easily be just destroyed. Now, Beasty is doing something peculiar, so he's just gonna go towards this over. He's just going to force some villagers to come around, and he's just gonna try to destroy this. If he can do this, this should pay for his investment into those horsemen, who are actually, by the way, going to maybe... No, not really. At least put some pressure onto those villagers, right? Which is kind of fine. He's denying mining anyway, and there's going to be more villagers pulled towards this Uvu to potentially just repair it enough. Obviously, 2 villagers here not doing anything, 2 villagers here not doing anything. Generally speaking,
but he did lose.
I think
he did lose horsemen, two of them. So
yeah, so
I didn't like that trade. It was really close because those 2 villagers almost died, but almost is not enough.
Yeah, I agree, but I do think that putting on some pressure is fine. Also force his opponent to build those 2 useless-ish horsemen, I think, so it's not terrible.
The thing is that
VortiX
is already up, and he's gonna instantly go for that professional scouts whenever he can afford it, wood-wise, because he's still missing 20 wood.
He is missing more because he had to build the ger.
Oh, yeah. And here we go.
And there is a small attack over here. This can is exposed, but Beasty is already feudal too. He's fine. He has the ger. I'm not really sure about researching this there. I do think this is not a safe location for anything. So if you were to research the profit, he needs gold right now. He needs gold for personal. I think he needs 300, right?
Oh, that can is stuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I mean that's fine. Can for a villager again. Trade would take any time because can respawns, villagers don't. So
yeah, but that he
dead.
respawns in. It takes 3 minutes for a can to respawn, correct? So those 3 minutes he's extra vulnerable.
No, it's less. It's like 2 minutes initially.
It's 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that bad. And those horsemen are going to be chased around. Beastyqt is researching the professional skill. I think he's going to be okay. So that bad start is just going to cost him a single villager, and he's going to be forced to build an outpost. You have to remember though, his opponent was already forced to construct an outpost before. So there is an outpost here, it's basically same deal. And the ger is also matched eventually, because both of them need the ger to actually research professional scouts. So all in all, I think, kind of even Steven of a trade, to be frank.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. We have engagement actually.
Yeah, there's a small fight over here over the game, right? There's just gonna need to be some animals killed, deer taken, horsemen just kind of exchanging early blows. By the way, there's an actual horseman upgrade here, as Beasty is still working with the regular, normal, traditional horseman right now, though he's getting the upgrade as we speak. Now, those scouts are gonna get away with those carcasses, and they're just gonna be happy to do so, I think. Beasty has a decently large numbers disadvantage here though, so he probably should just get out as long as he has legs to do so. Beasty
but he does have a can up. He does have a can up, so he's gonna chunk those horsemen slightly.
Yeah, the actual feudal can is very frustrating because he gains a lot of damage, right? He's actually quite an efficient ranged unit now. So that's fine. Obviously Castle can actually quite a decent fighter. As well, we're kind of far away from that though. Beasty is actually getting a lot. It seems like Beasty is actually just, sneakily getting towards that castle age, because he has 480 gold. He's mining the gold with lots of villagers, like twice as many as his opponent almost. He has been doing this for a while. Actually, no, more than twice as many. And he's gonna go towards castle very early on. I think there's gonna be a step readout being dropped very quickly after this.
Yeah, he didn't add that many scouts, I think.
No, he's actually... I don't like this thing. You should not be fighting if you're investing into fuel, which he clearly is doing, right? He's getting 1,000 food, he's not spending anything. So he just... I think he has been kind of successful with the pro scouts play, and he's actually taking a very... But no, I think that's a good engagement. I think he buffed the attack speed out. No, it's just for range, right? So there is no reason to do this. Yeah.
How's attack speed?
So just the speed. He's just gonna move around, and he's just going to get this done. Yeah, that's... I know. I have not played the campaign, but I know about the mechanic with what this is. That should be implemented, I think. The scouts are too fast with the carcass on their back. I think that should be kind of in the main game as well. And I know lots of pro players also say this, like they're just kind of in agreement in this regard, that you should actually have the slow movement, so you have to protect the scouts as they transport the game. That would probably be optimal.
Yeah, that would actually be a really nice thing to update.
Yeah. Now VortiX really far away from no, never mind. He's actually there as well. I always look at the wrong player. So VortiX is there. Beasty is going up to castle. So you see a castle Mongol versus Mongol. That's cool. I don't mind it at all. Actually, it's gonna be interesting to see how those guys do. What compositions they go for as well. Do you think it's just gonna be knights, or will they shake things up a bit?
We'll watch and see. I'm actually really curious for what they'll.
Because there's no infrastructure. There's a blacksmith going down for VortiX, and Beasty is going to probably just. Hello. Oh, that's a hostile operation here. Oh, we're gonna have the. Oh no, the heist, the deer heist is happening, man. It's going to take some scouts' lives, but it doesn't matter as long as you get away with those deer carcasses. That's a very expensive loss for Mr. Beastyqt. Of course, there might be some extra losses, but you can see that the only scout that is about to die actually is the scout that is not carrying anything. So that's a very nice heist operation happening, and indeed Beastyqt going for those knights. We don't see a blacksmith here yet. However, his opponent is actually doing a blacksmith upgrade already, so he's gonna get more done. Now, Akan does actually snipe, Dekan does actually snipe a single scout, maybe a second one will also go down, so this operation looks successful. Just 3 carcasses actually are going to be transported away, and that's a large loss of scouts. I do not believe that you need those scouts anymore, though you can just kind of, you know, they're not a fighting unit unless you're playing Rus, because Rus get the extra bonuses from the monks, and you can also tank for the archers. Generally speaking, I don't think the scouts are that important. You can just kind of move them around the map right now. Potentially, that's probably the only possible good play here. The step redoubt is gonna be weird, packed up actually, and this Jerry is gonna go back home, probably to get some, I guess, wood here? I guess there's just gonna be the play, right? Just getting the extra wood.
Sure.
So yeah, the Jerry is going to be used for that. There are 2 barracks, by the way. That's what I was saying. Like, maybe there is a pivot from one of the players, also archer range and the blacksmith. So kind of an all-around infrastructure for Mr. Beastyqt. And on the other side, we just see pure cavalry. So I do think there's a good choice. I think getting like, it's going to be a while, because you need to upgrade all those spears if you're going to go spears. But then it's just going to be MAAs actually after all. And you'll be getting some extra infantry to top off those cavalry units. What happened to the knights of Mr. Beastyqt? That's the question. So VortiX has 5 knights, Beasty has 2. Where are they? Can you see the knights? Oh, by the way, Beasty is also microing the monks, so he's gonna go for the relic play. And it's very important, because of course getting any advantage in the mirror matchup is going to pay dividends in a large way. So having that extra gold trickle early is going to probably benefit you quite a bit. You see another shaman actually going across the map trying to get another relic over here. However, there's also some harassment coming from VortiX, so some of those villagers very likely to go down because there is not enough space in the TC anymore almost. By the way, Beasty didn't rally all villagers back home, so not a good position to be in.
He didn't notice it entirely until now.
No, yeah, that's the late. It's very. This shaman is gonna get the relic though again, and there's probably gonna be another relic captured somewhere. Here are the knights, by the way, so it's kind of sneaky. There's some fighting here, just kind of some irrelevant exchanges. I think they're not gonna fight forever. Obviously, this is not a nice position to be in. You probably would like to reinforce this with spring golden placement to make sure that, you know, knights cannot spend too much time underneath this tower. I think that would be a nice choice.
Exactly.
This being said, still you need to get some extra relics to make this investment into the prayer tent wherever. I think those are 2 shamans. They will not pay for themselves immediately, so you need to kind of get some extra juice out of this. Now he's gonna bring that relic right now, or he might just do it soon. He might just kind of be waiting for this fight to end.
If he waits too long, then that shaman's gonna get eaten alive by that wolf.
By the bitey infantry, yeah. Now this is actually a nice fight for VortiX. He's gonna take those 5. That's just 5 scouts. Never mind, it's not a big deal. Beasty just gives up. He realizes it's too many knights.
Yeah, and he didn't have access to gold at all anymore.
Yeah, he was cut off completely. Maybe if he had built more barracks, like maybe, I don't know. It's actually surprising how fast this ended. I thought Beasty had a chance, like a fighting chance still, in terms of the timeline. He was, actually, no, he lost everything. Shit, he lost so many villagers then to those raids. Yeah, he lost, look at how much he lost actually. He was down to 20 26, I think? Maybe 28. And his
That's
opponent was like
25.
safely sitting on 50. That's actually, yeah, I didn't realize how bad it was, but it was quite terrible actually for him. So, yeah, just very nice decision from VortiX, actually just costing Mr. Beastyqt a game in the series, which is...
Yeah, the raids won him the game, basically.
Yeah,
Those 3 builds falling on Woodline, and then again, I think he raided Woodline.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he was fighting at next to the gold. So basically, Beastie had to micro in 2 places at the same time. He had 2 knights that were not doing anything to the north of his base, and it was a mess.
Yeah, messy game, but cool one overall. I think it was interesting to see Mongols. Yeah. For the very first time on the day. Of course, they're so weak that nobody picks them, right? So that is out of the way now. We'll just see a normal regular match coming in next in the series. So it's going to be pretty cool to see what exactly those 2 guys can bring to the table right now. So we just have to wait for them to start another game, of course. So it's going to probably be a few minutes as they pick their next civilization. Maybe this might be the last game of the series, right? Because every single series here is a best of 3. So if VortiX just manages to eke out another win, he's just going to win the series, and that's all she wrote for Mr. Beastyqt. And now, I'm kind of curious what they do now, because I really do not know about the bans. Nobody does, I think. Maybe I can click the matchup actually and see. No, there are no bans posted anywhere. So we can't really tell. So we just have to wait for a while. I guess just for the time being, we'll just have to sit down and wait patiently to see what exactly those players do.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a shortish break again. I'm gonna get some snacks because I think.
God damn it!
Yeah, VortiX is going to take his sweet time now picking the civ, and there is also like a short delay. So we'll be back shortly, guys. If you haven't subbed or followed yet, I encourage you to do so once again. This being said, just BRB, and we'll be continuing the cast very, very soon as those players get into the games.
Yep, exactly. I really wanted to get some snacks myself too, so BRB.
Hey folks, I'm back, and so are VortiX and Mr. Beastyqt, so I think we can just get into next game.
Glorious.
Can't seem to observe it though, I'm not sure why. That would be terrible if they were to just kind of... No, okay, it's just a regular thing. So
it's just a game is starting, basically.
Yeah, it's just loading, yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna wait for them to load. I'm gonna mute myself and munch on some crisps as we wait. So BRB. Okay, so we are back, guys, and we can continue into this matchup. Okay, cool. Second Chinese game of the day.
Chinese against English.
Yep,
I think,
and it's gonna be spicy. Because it is
what's
the
the map?
Danube River. And
Ooh.
so in the blue, in the east, it's gonna be Beastyqt playing the Chinese, of all things. He opens with a scout, by the way, so worth noting.
And in red, we have VortiX playing as the English.
Now the interesting thing is that I'm kind of used to Delhi. Have they both banned Delhi, maybe? Or one of them must have banned Delhi. Because this map is like a Delhi map. There's the Delhiest map of them all.
If someone would actually ban Delhi, I think it would be VortiX. Because Beastie was playing Delhi quite a bit, same as Viper, I think. And we've seen Viper's Delhi already, it's completely something else.
Yeah, it's true. We also saw Viper's Chinese, so that is also something else. Which is interesting.
Yeah.
So, we have wood commitment coming from VortiX. No, from Beastie actually. Beastie is gonna commit to wood, and this means he's gonna build the dock very early. His opponent, actually not doing so. He's gonna rush feudal. He probably will just try to harass those docks with archers. That's very good because you can actually do a lot of damage with those English archers. And it's actually hard to stop because no tower has enough range to essentially just have the opportunity to attack those archers, right? So you can basically just harass anything on the water unless the opponent just walls off somehow meticulously, like maybe here. That would be crazy to do though, so I don't think we're gonna see it.
It would be too costly, I think. It would cost way too much.
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised. I'm not sure what the Chinese are gonna achieve here with that dock. It's obviously kind of a short-term investment for now, so it's gonna give him a decent amount of food. But you have to say, like, every single dock play you do, right? This dock is going to delay you by like a minute 30, maybe even 2 minutes to feudal, right? So it's going to be quite an issue. VortiX doesn't kind of have the courage to contest it, by the way, because that's something you can always do. You can just drop the barracks. You can maybe take him. You can probably take a villager, like here even. Build the barracks, just start attacking this, and I think Chinese actually are kind of unique in this regard. Because they can actually just build a very quick tower, 5 villagers, right? And this, since they construct things so quickly, because of their unique civilization bonus, they can actually probably get a tower up and defend. But most other civs just kind of die to this, right? You can lose the dock and then, you have some useless fishing ships. You move the dock, you lose again, you get the drill. This is not going to happen here, though the English are going to be very quickly going towards that feudal. Right, so
and they already clicked up. I mean, sorry, not clicked up. They're constructing their council hall and pumping out those longbowmen.
Yeah,
and I think you need at least 2 longbowmen to actually start damaging a fishing ship underneath a dock. So basically, you can move out as soon as you have just like 2 of them, because there are not gonna be any units on the side of Beastyqt.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of curious actually how well this does, because I kind of expect it to do very well. And oh, that's a crazy good play. So you can place a tower here. I like this so much from Beastie. Yeah. So that's the normal response to the English, right? Obviously the problem is they can just go through the river now, right? They can just go around this. Also, another thing is the scouts can just deny this villager the construction rights. So it's actually going up very fast, and there's a scout on the other side. So maybe not gonna happen too quickly. BC doesn't realize this though, so his scout is not working on this. Do you think this can be done? I don't think it's gonna happen on time.
Yeah, it is gonna happen, yeah. He's gonna lose the villager. Because of the... yeah.
And that's trouble, because obviously you will see some archers coming up quickly or very soon, and you really need to have this tower up. So losing the villager, that's why I always say that if you're gonna build a tower that is important to you, just take 2 villagers instead of 1. Because 2 villagers, especially the Chinese ones, are first of all going to be able to fight the scouts, and second of all, they're going to be able to build a normal tower like they're supposed to. So there's going to be outputs going up, but it is going to be paid for in blood of those poor Chinese vills, of course. Beastie, by the way, nowhere near age up yet, but of course you can get the barbecue of the sun relatively quickly. with the Chinese construction speed, so it's not going to be too terrible all in all. So overall, I think Beasty in a decent position, though he is going to have to rely on a minor miracle right now before he's able to age up, because if he doesn't get that, he's so far away from this. It's like, you know, I don't understand how he's super late, because I guess he committed to wood so hard to get those towers up.
And you need to place. You need
oh,
to
another
remember.
villager going. That's terrible for anybody. Like losing villagers in Dark Age is just so painful. Oh, that's awful. Like you really should have either. I think you should have walled it first.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
like it at all because
really
he
bad.
lost like 2 villagers already, right? He's already lost 2. And
But at the same time, he does have the fish, so.
yeah, but archers can still find those sneaky angles, I think, and you know this.
I think he's gonna lose another village
because that's super nice body blocking. Oh, wait.
What? What?
I think the corpse disappeared. Did he
What?
lose the villager or no? Oh, there is a barbecue coming as well, so it's gonna be significantly harder to hit this right now. Oh, no, not a villager did.
He did lose it.
He finishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just water. Water just consumes the corpses. And that's all she wrote for Mr. Villager number 3. Now that is
Number
actually
4.
a significant disadvantage in terms of vills, but you have to say
That's 4 vills.
that is
Mike.
also how many 10 fishing boats too? How many? Can you count, Kuba?
0. Yeah,
Let's
I
count
see
the fishing
0.
boats.
Sorry.
0, 0, it's still nothing, right? So it is actually, I think, decent trade overall. It's actually a nice fishing boom here for the Chinese. So it's not bad. I don't think it's too bad at all. I think it's kind of okay. And you have to remember, this generates taxes, right? Of course, it's not that relevant right now, but it does generate taxes overall, so
Yeah.
you can probably just harvest some extra gold from here if you really want to.
Actually, I think you can use the Imperial Official on the dock, and it both increases the production
you
rate
can't.
and
No, it's impossible. No, I tried. Because I used to try playing Chinese before I realized it's just not my APM range. That's impossible for me to do. By the way, oh, that's actually something that you have seen before as well, probably. That is aggressive dock placement, right? So instead of building his own dock, he's just gonna build an aggressive dock over here. Very likely to be followed up by some sort of
arrow ship.
Arrow ships, yeah, that's the galley, right? That's what I was looking for. So galley might just come out. Not yet, because I do not think VortiX is just absolutely freaking broke right now. So because the problem with the English is that both the fishing ships or the warships and the archers do actually require a decent amount of wood. So you can, even if he is using about like 15 villages, maybe even more, to harvest the wood, he has 17 villages on the wood line right now. He's still not getting enough to supply production of both the military ships and the archers, so he has to kind of, you know, divide and conquer, really. Now, I think the English galley is slightly stronger than the junk, especially that there is a support of the archers from behind.
And especially that it has 1 more range, so...
So the galley's strong ships, guys. They're strong AF, but this is a different play. So it's not going to be a galley. I thought this galley is actually a transport ship. So what happens here is we see like a lot of archers loaded up, and Beasty has nothing. That's a very creative approach. Beasty actually has no. Beasty has stables, so he may actually. They think Beasty knows. They think Beasty is so good that he realized what was up, or what was going to happen.
I think that he's just making those horsemen just to anticipate, because I think he thought that those archers were going around, right? I very much doubt that he thinks. Oh, he actually might know right now, because there are no warships coming his way, right?
Yeah.
And there would be 1 warship at least.
Yeah, because there's a dock which he scouted, so he probably is aware of this, or he kind of felt at least that this is a reasonable choice. Or it kind of looks inspired almost, because double stable is super good right now for him. There's enough horsemen to deal. No, not yet. Maybe 2 more. You need 2 more, and especially if the Imperial Official is going to be a very quick production. So he'll have enough horsemen very quickly, very soon, to just dispose of those archers. He has 21.
But those archers are gonna do some damage. I think it's gonna be either an Imperial Official.
No. It's actually official is safe. Safe, yes, easy. I'm very good at my predictions. It's safe.
Appreciate. Oh,
safe.
sorry, 3 HP.
Safe AF. This is the safest Imperial official. Now the problem for VortiX is he's losing time. He basically walked up with all those archers actually, all those archers. He built a transport ship that has not returned much value because this is an investment. You have to remember that, right? That's a large investment into that ship, and then into moving those archers who might not even make it through back alive. I don't think they trade favorably against this. So it's a very bad trade from VortiX overall. I think Beastyqt is just gonna pounce on this. Because so many, that's no longer critical mass. I think, yeah, that's no longer. Yeah. You'd have to be two-shotting at least, and they need like 4. Oh, that's just a massacre. So. That's a terrible move, actually. So, yeah, it's so bad that VortiX just rage quits the game altogether. So because this is so much invested. Look at this. He loses the dock, the 3 warships or 3 arrow ships of Beastyqt, 3 of those junks.
Oh, and Beastyqt did have the income advantage of food.
Yeah.
If you look at the income,
yeah, of course.
like.
Yeah, it was obvious that he did, right? He had like way more food all along, and he won every single fight. He basically repelled the attack that was supposed to do the damage. It never did anything. I think what VortiX could have done potentially was just kind of go with those archers, just go all in, like especially when he saw the stables. Like, okay, so okay, these archers are dead. Okay, I have like 13 of them here, so I can lose 4 and keep one-shotting villages. You could have probably sniped like 7, maybe 8 villages altogether, and that would have maybe been enough. But the way things are, I think it was like very good defensive play from Beasty, very solid, like Chinese play against the English. I would have not expected this to happen. Like based on the matchup, I would say like VortiX had the upper hand, but yeah, that was just.
I really like the outpost.
Yeah.
Play from Beast, even though it was costly, but I think the longbowman investment was more costly because he was not making any fishing ships by himself, right? So. All in all, it was basically more eco. Even though Beasty lost 4 villages in the Dark Age, it was still not enough. VortiX would have to deal a lot more damage to Beasty to justify not having any fish.
Yeah, he needed so much more than this, and the dock placement was just so bad. Because what you can actually do is you can just place the dock on your side and just wall off that passage between there's like one shallow that you can just wall off across, and then you cut off the access for the ships to your base. Like, so you can just, even if you have like some military disadvantage of the water, you can just wall it off and fish safely. I think this was the right play, because he could have, instead of just losing all those archers and losing that fishing boat, he could have just had like, I guess like 10, 12 fishing boats.
Change the score. It's 1 to Beastyqt.
Yeah. I'm on it.
Not to VortiX. Yeah.
No, VortiX won before. He won the Mongol matchup. Hello.
Oh, he won the Mongol matchup. Yeah, so it's 1-1. Yeah. Yep.
So I think they're loading again. So here we go. Oh, spicy. And that's a decider game. That's a decider game, by the way. It's not like any matchup. It is actually a decider game now. So whoever wins moves up the bracket. And I'm not really sure how exactly you win versus French as HRE yet. But I think Beastie is gonna show us. I've actually seen also the pros practicing the matchup a lot. So yeah. So without any further ado, in the West, playing the French, it is going to be VortiX. Oopsie, I was supposed to just go like, that was supposed to be the fancy move here. So VortiX on the French with this lovely TC here, and he's gonna go for wood because the map is actually Boulder Bay, which we all know and hate.
And
oh, that's why it's HRE!
Ah, yeah. And in the East we have Beastyqt playing as HRE. Oh boy. And
that's spicy because galleys are so strong that the galleys that you can produce as HRE, they're like the strongest attack ships in the game, I think. I mean, arrow ships in the game.
Still, I think they kind of cost efficiently lose against hulks.
But you can defend because you don't need to attack. You have double repair in the docks. Touché,
yeah,
right?
Of course, you can defend, and I think that's gonna be the play for Beastyqt because both sides lose when they have the opponent has the defender's advantage, right?
What's wrong with Beastie and gold spawns today?
I have no idea.
Because...
I mean, he does have... both of his golds are actually close to his
No, that's terrible because you want to have Akenchapel, and Akenchapel needs the gold and the woodline to be together on the water maps.
No.
So he has to
that's
play,
right.
So I think this is just poor placement of the lumber camp here. He could have just placed
He doesn't know yet.
He
doesn't know yet because... No. Look at it.
Oh, that's so bad. I would be so frustrated. I'd be livid if I were Beastie. That's the second time he gets shafted by RNG. And yeah, that's just gonna be really annoying because I think he needs to have the Akenchapel here because I do not imagine him mining golds from those two locations, like getting lumber without the prelate, right? So he needs a prelate he needs the chapel here, so this means he might have to invest another 50 wood to get the next lumber camp. It's not bad, 50 wood is not terrible, of course. You would prefer not to have invested it into something useless, so... That's also weird, like why would you not rally this onto the deep water fish where it definitely gathers faster? Does he know something we don't, or...?
No, he just built a dock while not having the full vision, basically. So once he
looks back, you should just...
Yes, but the thing is, I think he automatically targeted the shellowfish while the dock was building, right? And he just is not gonna look...
For a while,
right now,
so he's losing some income because his opponent is actually gathering from the actual deep water fish deposit. So small disadvantage to Beastyqt, and that is no, that's bad.
No,
so this means he has to decide, or he might have to build another prelate. So one prelate is here. Look at this lovely prelate. So prelate, of course. I know the pronunciation, guys. I know the pronunciation. So this epic prelate is standing here next to the woodline. And the other one, I probably skewed it, sorry, it's wrong, yeah. The other prelate, so you have to park another one at the gold. So he needs another one right now, so the Akenchapel is not going to be efficient. He would have needed to just build a camp here and just, you know, get another lumber camp for it to work. So that's actually a worse trade because he has to invest 100 gold to get this to work now. If he is willing to have both those kind of sides buffed fully, so it's not good at all. And of course, if you have VortiX, like you have just gold over here, so you can just, you know, lumber camp this and just... Actually, both golds are very far away. Is he long distance mining gold?
I think he just doesn't see because I think
WTF,
he's looking.
sir.
He's looking at his water. No. He's looking at his dock, I think, and he didn't realize yet. Oh, now he makes it.
He was looking at his dock indeed. Like you all should sometimes.
Nice dock.
Nice dock, sir. Yeah. And Beastyqt did also look at his dock and he noticed that he needs to move those fishing ships. So both docks have been looked at and inspected thoroughly, and yeah, he's gonna start fishing from the proper spot. I'm kind of... Oh, see, so he is smart, but this is weird. Why would you use this if you can just... I'm baffled, man, I'm baffled. Yeah, nice dock, mate. So what is wrong with Beastyqt? Has he just scouted this very late? I think this must be the case, right? So he just scouts this location later, then he builds the mining camp. He's just like, okay, fuck, I misplaced my entire infrastructure here because I could have. He could have saved 100 resources. Oh no, that's fine actually. He doesn't have to move the lumber camp now. So he was okay actually. He just needed to place a proper mining camp there. He was going to be absolutely fine. So that's kind of unfortunate. We also see the Chamber of Commerce. Over here from the French player in the west, so he's gonna go for this one. He's gonna be late though. He's gonna be late, isn't he? Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna be like about 20 seconds late, and that's actually bad because it takes 40 seconds to build a galley. So yeah, the first galley is gonna be there. Is probably gonna do some damage. I wager. Especially that actually the Hulk takes more, right? Hulk takes like 45 seconds. Yeah. So.
Yep.
He'll have some extra free time with his opponent's fishing ships, which is always appreciated, I guess. The problem is, of course, that there is a second dock as well, so we might have 2 Hulks at a time. Which I'm not really sure VortiX can supply at this point. Probably not.
He can, but he'll be slightly short on wood.
No, he needs like so much more. He needs double the wood right now. He needs double the So the answer is no, he can't. No. He's gonna need way more than... unless he sells his... No. By the way, Beasty's floating a shitload of food. He has so many fishing boats here.
Yeah.
How is he floating so much food, actually?
He had 5 villages and sheep.
Why
Look
is
at
he...
it.
So he has a different... Look, he has a different plan here, I think. Because he's going for food, so he's committed to food. Is it just the play to survive and go... He's fast castling still.
Or fast imping.
Like, big time. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be the extension of it, but... Maybe he's just going to say, okay, screw the water, you know, man? Like, I'm just gonna defend this with my single galley, hopefully. But by the way, there's just a Hulk and the upgrade, expensive one at that, because those sails are not cheap. They don't come they don't grow on trees, man. So he's gonna get
but if you don't research the extra sails, then your Hulk will be
super.
very easily chased
I
down.
know, it's just really expensive, and frankly, like, if he's just able to hold his dock for a while, he's gonna be fine.
Absolutely.
So, because I don't really think does he care about the... I don't think he cares about the water. If he were to care, he would have built another galley. He has not built a galley yet. He's not building a galley, and he's actually fighting the Hulk over there. I think he's just gonna use this to slow down his opponent. I think that's the gambit here. So, he is not efficient with this galley. He's gonna lose it for nothing. That's terrible, actually. It's awful. It's just disgusting to watch. That was the worst play of the day, I think. That's terrible. But he has enough to go up.
I think it was just a distraction, to be honest. So
just
that
to slow
Hulk
down
wouldn't
the
go
galley,
to...
so the Hulk, so that he can actually go up and he... Because if he doesn't lose this immediately, he can just start building his own Hulks.
Yeah.
He can save like 3 ships, so he's okay-ish.
Now the dock will die before the Castle Age kicks in. I think he's just gonna get that food.
It's just a single Hulk, though.
Still, I think he's just gonna going for a Palace of Swabia, to be honest.
I mean, he can just go... Yeah, he doesn't care about wood anymore. Look at this, he's not getting any wood at all, so Beasty just doesn't give a shit.
I think he's just going to park those prelates as relics, get those relics, and then go for Palace of Swabia.
By the way, walls. Walls, like boats, look at this. No boats, just walls.
Yeah, just like, walling the relics.
He has 4 relics for free then, right? 4?
Yeah, 4. Because 1 to
3, 4.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Damn.
You have the emergency repairs, but it's not you need influence for this, so it's gonna be a little bit off. I think he just ditches this completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
40 seconds, 45 to build a Hulk.
It's not worth it for him. Look at his food bank.
He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't.
He's doing something else. He's doing something else.
Beasty is always this crazy. This man is just insane. I love this so much. Actually, it's just so genius. Like, I actually have always been supporting this this attitude where you just decide to drop the water for something else. Of course, like, the nice thing is VortiX is not Marine Lord, because Marine Lord lost a very important match in the Genesis tournament because he just overcommitted to water. Like, VortiX is just going to have a single Hulk over here, and that's all he's going to have. So he's not going to actually he's not going to actually just, overcommit to water, spend like 3,000 resources to just be there. Oh, there's Wallow Low. Okay, there's the Wallow Low here on the Scout Arena of Mr. VortiX. Those villagers are just in spears. They're just running around doing nothing, I guess. But there is a single prelate right now getting the relic as well here, so it's gonna be 2 relics at the very least. I'd really like to seem to... I think you could have just gone for this one very quickly. Like, as soon as you get this, like, the sooner you do this, the better, right? So he should have probably just... I generally speaking like to prioritize the far relics, especially that he has a wall. So he's kind of aware...
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter because he has the wall, right? There's nothing...
Yeah, but like, if your opponent just commits to some army, right, then you obviously just kind of lose out on this. I still don't think this is a... I know. I don't think there's a zero-sum game for Beasty. I think Beasty is still slightly behind in terms of eco, because look at how many villages, quote-unquote, his opponent has produced. So, for now, of course, because later, like, if you have enough... If you get the Swabia Palace, right, you have enough to basically produce any number of villages within seconds. So it's not a problem later. It's like villager spaghetti, you know. Just kind of roll out of there like madman.
He's getting really close. He's getting really close when it comes to getting that Palace of Swabia.
Just 400 food right now. Does he have market? No. Yeah, ha. See, my man Beasty just knows what's up. He's just gonna spend the 300 gold, buy the food, Schwabia the hell out of his opponent, and then it doesn't matter that he doesn't have the water anymore, because, like, why would he need water if he has infinite production? The only issue, that's something I would really like to see from VortiX right now, because that's the way to kind of match the relics, I guess, in a way, is actually getting trade ships. We saw how efficient that was. It was crazy good of a play. I think that's like something that you should really kind of not underestimate on Boulder, because if you can get like a deck over, that was a close one. Dock over here, you can definitely just get like plus 200 gold. So that's good.
Especially that you already have the tech for faster ships.
You have lots of docks here, so you can use those to, just further.
He already researched the faster ships tech, so it would be actually really beneficial for him to actually start trading.
Full agree. So why he isn't doing this is a big question. The reason might be that he's just going to commit to knights. But Beasty is kind of step ahead again. He's gonna build a wall here. But it's 9 knights, and there is nothing here that stops that for now. There are 3 spears against 9 knights that are just gonna die, and this is exposed mill. So yes, he's going to have that, but it's just a matter of how fast that ship can reach the shore. The answer is very fast, and he has 9 knights in his opponent's base, and his opponent is not ready to work against this. He has some barracks, yes, but there are 9 knights who are gonna split as well. It's gonna be lethal damage, I think, for it's so good. This is such a great play. VortiX has to just produce. He has no units on the map at all right now. He has 3 spearmen, and that's not enough to work against those veteran royal knights. He's Imperial Age, right? So he might just kind of make up for any villager losses he incurs. But he needs so much more than 3 spears. He needs like 15 spears, I think, to deal with this. Those are regular veteran royal knights with upgrades, right? No?
Hell yeah.
And those villages are gonna be all forfeit. Like, you can lose villages. Like, yes, you have Shrabis, you can lose some villages. But how many can you lose is the question.
He's like, 40 pop right now. 39.
And his opponent is like 70. 91! Oh my, Beasty is dead.
Beasty is very much dead.
This is the play that just wins him the game, I think. There's just insanity. 1 knight falls to, I don't know how many units of his opponent. Like, Beasty just bleeding army left, right, and center. Yes, he has, I mean, he has 20 villagers. Where is it? Here. And knights are gonna take a while to kill it, so if you can just rally some spears, that's fine. But honestly, like, you can transport more. That's 8 more knights coming.
There's nothing that can stop it, actually.
He's just gonna die to this eventually. I mean, yes, you're producing spearmen, like, those should be Imperial Spear, not harder, they should be at least veterans, like, not... Yeah, it's just awful. I mean, Beasty can buy resources, right, he can use the market to some extent, but it's just terrible situation, like, he's in a terrible spot right now, because there's another raid just right at his gates. Look at this, there's 8 more knights, and you can just keep doing this, like, you can just keep doing the castle aggression, basically indefinitely, right? It's just not gonna be a stop to this.
Yeah, and his eco is actually pretty good right now, because he is playing as the French. The French have better eco because their TC work faster. So
and they have more... He has ships, he's fishing like crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He has so much income, and like Beasty is idling like the majority. Doesn't matter if you produce like billion villages per hour. You are losing them all anyway, and you're idling every single... Like, he has 30 left, I think, and they're all idle right now. And yeah, like, I'm not sure what you do right. Look at this, there are like more knights regenerating here. Those knights are obviously attacking the barracks, so they're just gonna get rid of the military infrastructure as well. BC has some gold, but that's all there is, really. You can complete the wall... Oh, that's too... Oh! Just on time, he's gonna complete
just in time.
And he has enough, like, he has lots of spearmen right now, he can almost fight this. Almost. He's supply blocked though, he's heavily supply blocked on 60 supply, oh no.
Oh no.
There are knights coming in as well from here. There is no wall of over here, this wood line is still exposing, so this kind of infrastructure is exposing Beasty, right? So he's kind of trying to get some control back, like some semblance. There's 8 more knights ferried over though, 8 more.
There's nothing that can stop it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what is this shit? That's a house, okay.
That's a house.
20 idle
An
villagers,
eco.
20 idle villagers, and
And a dream.
a dream. Oh my god, that's brutal. Like the end of Beastyqt, you know that. Oh my god, the bigger they are, the harder they fall, and Beasty's falling like a rock into a pond right now. Like a bag of rocks, honestly. Like a bag of docks.
Like a boulder, I think.
Yeah, boulder.
more
Yeah, ha
appropriate.
ha ha, yeah. Oh, look at this army, by the way. So,
Because haha, boulder bait. Okay, sorry.
exactly, yes, thank you. I mean, okay, so right now he has enough to protect the villagers who are harvesting wood. And wood is as useful to him as... Oh no. I mean, yes, you have a lot of spearmen right now, admittedly. You have a lot of gold income, so you can just kind of produce spears continuously right now. That's kind of fine. And you could probably go for the elite spears as well eventually too, so that's not terrible. And honestly, this wall-off is kind of effective. So he's been able to just completely wall himself off. The problem is though there is like archery ranges coming. There is lots of knights kind of being continuously built right now, and the only unit that Beasty has is spears. And now it's going to be triple archery range, quadruple archery range as well dropped. It's going to be very rough to defend this, and those knights are going to break through. I don't think these villagers are on time. Oh shit. No. Yes, they're not on time.
They are not on time.
But they're elite spears. So the spears can deal with knights, but they cannot deal with archers, I think. Even elite spears, they just do take too much damage to actually work against that stuff. And there is no blacksmith, because Beasty's build has been so disrupted that he has not been actually able to produce any sort of, you know, research infrastructure yet. So he has no barracks, I mean, he has no blacksmiths. And does he see that proxy, by the way? No. I guess he smells it, right? He smells blood in the water because he's getting those archery ranges of his own, so this might be actually kind of important. I think this wood line is intact, so it's difficult to penetrate the base, you know, outside of this, but this is being also walled off. Does the villager see something? No.
No, I don't think so.
So that's the problem, but you have to say, Beasty made the best out of the worst situation in the world, because I thought he was dead completely, like he was dead to rights.
Mike, I am really sorry, but I got a end
sure.
by the moment. So I'll be watching,
Yeah,
I
sure,
might
of
be
course.
commenting in the stream, but I can't really cast anymore.
Sure, of course.
It was a pleasure though.
Yeah,
Bye!
thank you so much, it was lovely. It was lovely having you. Crossbows, huh? There's gonna be crossbows actually being built, so Beasty is going to go... Oh, there's a hole in the wall as well, so it's very... So, I thought Beasty had him here, so he could have cleaned up those 4 knights. That's actually not the case. And right now, you know, VortiX is adding rams. VortiX is ferrying over, like, massive numbers of knights as well. It's like, how many is it? He has, like, 15 knights over here. Beasty has 31 spears, that's all. VortiX has 32 knights. So he has more knights than Beasty has spears, honestly. That's crazy. And, yeah, I don't know what you can do right now. Those are veteran archers. Those are, like, veteran royal knights. You are sitting on spears. Not even a keep to your name. Keep would have really helped here, I think, but that's just not happening, because, yeah, he's just... Beasty has no resources to build a keep. And those archers can just basically delete even elite spearmen, right? So it's not going to be efficient. By the way, Beasty is just donating units at this point, right? He's just donating units. He's just dead. So I was kind of thinking Beasty was the favorite in this tournament. Honestly, this knight play from VortiX is insanely effective. And those 8 knights, like, they just did so much damage. If there had been a wall from the get-go here from Beasty, yes, that could have been maybe salvaged. But right now it's just over. I think VortiX just got this. VortiX is just so insanely strong. Beasty taps out. And that's all she wrote for the series. So Beastyqt eliminated in the early day 1 bracket by VortiX. Cool stuff. Very good stuff. I'm actually very hyped by this. This is a good matchup. I loved every single game here, though this last one is kind of anticlimactic. Again, like the greedy HRE play can be punished, and punished it was by the French cavalry, no less. So, very cool stuff. That was a good game, man. And we can go to the last match of the day, I think. We'll just watch one more game today, because... so it was Beastyqt versus VortiX. We can go to Linux versus Marine Lord, because I love Linux so much. So let's go, let's watch Linux right now.